Hi, Kenny.
Good Erev Yontif.
Are you on video? Okay, we're on Yud Tes 19, Beitzah. Ton Rabbanon, Kli Shenitma Erev Yontif, a Kli that became Tome Erev Yontif, Ein Mabil Noso Ben Hashmoshes. Remember, we learned yesterday that a Kli that's Matame Erev Yontif, you're not allowed to be Toivelit on Yontif, you got to be Toivelit Erev Yontif. And they say you can't even be Toivelit Bein Hashmoshes, because Bein Hashmoshes going into Yontif, it's Suffolk Yom, Suffolk Laila. So it might be toiveling it into Yontif, which we're not allowed to do. Reb Shimon Shazir Oimer. Af b'cholein might be on. So you know what? This has nothing to do with Yontif. Even if it was a Tuesday or a Monday. Remember, a Kalim require hair of Shemesh. And it's a suffix whether Ben Hashmoshes is hair of Shemesh or not. So it could be you need hair of Shemesh for tomorrow. So you should not be toivel something Ben Hashmoshes. You should start hair of Shemesh. And misafik, we push you off to the next day, so don't do it. Freit the Gemara of the Tanakama loy boy hair of Shemesh. I mean, the Tanakama also l'chora requires hair of Shemesh. Amar Rav Ashkechil Rav Hanan Devei Rav Yasser v'Koamri b'machshavto nikeres mitoch ma'asav kamiflagi. The machlokas is whether or not a person's mind can be understood through his actions. Heichidami. Kigon denokat monabiyar. He has a kli in his hand. V'royet, and he runs. V'ozl ben hashmoshes, like he's running to be toivel ben hashmoshes. Marasav haidikar royet v'ozil. The reason why he's running, because maybe yoda the boy of Shemesh. He wants to get there before ben hashmoshes. So he does the tefillah, and then he has Erev Shemesh, and then he can use the kli that night. Now, so since he knows the din, and he gets there too late, it's not a problem. He'll wait another day. We're not goizer that he shouldn't do it because that's why he's running, because it's clear he knows the din. No, it doesn't give us an insight into whether he understands the halacha or not. He's doing it because he wants to do his work quickly. But I understand this so given. People do, everyone we recognize as machshava through his ma'aser. There's no machlekes. Normally, a sheretz has to be the size of a lentil bean to be metame. But this was a case where the sheretz was less. He came to the chacham to ask, do I have to be toivel this? B'pachos mikadosha. It me lo. The fact that he doesn't know this law, that a sheretz has to be at least the size of an adosha, he doesn't know the din of Erev Shemesh. And therefore, we're concerned if we allow him to be toivelit, he'll use it that day. He won't wait till the next day. Umar Sover, how would gomer? No, that specific din that a sheretz has to be at least the size of an adosha, he didn't know. How Erev Shemesh gomer? But so you can allow him to be toivel because he knows if he doesn't do it on time, he can't use it tonight. That's the machlokes. Umabil migav legav. And we don't know what that means. Talking about ketzad migav legav. So aroitzelas is gito gav kadoi. Person has a like a wine press, and he has a jug that he wants to be toivel. Wants to do it again. Let's say it was done, but he thinks it has to be done again. The kadol gav gito is a ketzad mecha. So it's just a toifes. It's not a choiv to be toivel. It's sort of extra tahara. So that type of tefillah, they were not goyzer on yontif. What does it mean lechavur lachavur? Haya oichel bechavur zu. Remember, Korban Pesach was eaten in different chaburos. So he's going to go from one to another, and they're going to ask him to be toivel as kalim. He's allowed to do it, and he can do it a second time. We're not goizer on that, because you're not really chai mikra din to be toivel. Mishnah on your test Amud Aleph. Beishamay Amrivin Shlomim. You're allowed to bring a korban shlomim on yontif. They ain't soimchin aleim. Normally, the bailim have to lean on the korban, but that's also mishum shvus. You got to do it with your whole strength, and there you're being mishtamish with a bal chai, and you're not allowed to ride a bal chai. So beishamai aser avaloi oilois. He says you're not even allowed to bring a korban olah. Since it's not eaten by human beings, it's kulo kolil. You can't do a shchita that's not, done for purposes of achila. Somebody's trying to sign in here. The oila, now, Beis Hillel oimrim, yeah, here's Harold. We're on Yud Tes Amud Aleph, the Mishnah. Beis Hillel oimrim, Mevian shlamim ve'oilois. We do bring shlamim and oilois on yontif. The soim chenaleim, and you're allowed to do smicha. It's not considered a shvus. Amar ulamachlekes b'shalmei chagiga lismoch ve'oilos re'ilikot. Now, there is a mitzvah korban chagiga. For example, if we would be oil regel for tomorrow to Bet Yerushalayim, we'd have to bring a korban with us, a shlamim. And that's the korban. We would shecht one erev yontif and eat it at night. And we'd also shecht one on the 15th and eat it. And those are shlamim that allow you to eat meat on yontif. So the machlokes between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, whether you're soymech on it, is regarding shamei chagiga or oilos re'iyah. You have to come to the Beis Hamikdash with a korban olah. You have to show your face with a korban olah. The Beis Shammai savri v'chagoisem oisoi chag l'Hashem chagiga in oilos re'iyah lo. That's why Beis Shammai in our Mishnah said you can bring a shlami but not an olah. He's medayik from chagoisem also. You can bring a korban chagiga but not an olah. Beis Hillel focuses on the word l'Hashem, called the l'Hashem. So even a korban olah, which is offered l'Hashem, can be offered on yontif. Aval nedorim and nedavos. You want to bring a donative offering, not a korban chagiga, which is a chiv yontif, not a korban oila re'iyah, which yet when it says you have yera ekol zechurcha, that you have to be seen, see and be seen by the Beis Hamikdash, you have to do it with a korban olah. Those are chiyuvim. But let's say you're at home in Tel Aviv and you make a neder or a nedava to bring a korban, harei zu shlamim or harei alai shlamim. That's a donative offering, or harei alai olah. Those are donative. Those are not karev b'yontif because they're not a chiyuv of yontif. V'chein amar avada barava nedar nedava is saying craven b'yontif. So meis ve'amar of Shem ben Elazar lo nechleku Beis Shammai Beis Hillel oila she'ena shel yontif she'ena craven b'yontif. So Beis Shammai Beis Hillel agree that an olah that is not connected to the yontif, like a neder and a dova, are not karev. They also agree val shlomim she'en shel yontif she'craven b'yontif.
I'm looking at.
Or there's no machlokes Beis Shammai Beis Hillel regarding that. Alman nechleku al oila shehi shel yontif, and oila sreiyah. So there we had our machlokes in the Mishnah. Beis Shammai said no, Beis Hillel said yes. Ve'al shlomim she'ein shel yontif, and on shlomim that don't belong to yontif. Shebeis Shammai omrim lo yavi, Beis Hillel omrim yavi. Well, shlomim that doesn't belong to yontif is a neder and a dava. This goes against what Ravada Barava said, that Nedor and Nedova ain't craven beyond. That's the Meisvei. And for the Gemara Tritz Ve'em Ohachi, Amr ben Elazar, that really the emendation is Loy Nechleku Beis Shammai Beis Hillel Oilo Shlomim she'ein and shel yontif, she'ein kreven b'yontif. So that fits Ravada Barava, that in Shlamim, that are Nedorim and Nedovis, not connected to the yontif, they're not korev on yontif. Ve'al Shlamim she'ein shel yontif, she'kreven b'yontif. We saw in our Mishnah, Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel don't argue regarding that. Al manechliku al oila shehi shel yontif. That is the machlokas in Ola Re'iyah. Beis Shammai oimim lo yavi, because he learns from Chagoisem, Chag Lashem, Chagiga in Oilas Re'iyah lo. Beis Hillel yavi, because he is medayik Lashem. Okay, so no kash. So Rav Yosef, why do you have to amend? Tanoisha kalt me alma. We could have had Rav Shimon ben Elazar is not the dasa kol, and maybe it's a machlekes tanoim. Tanoim, Tanya, Shlomim haboy machbas yontiv b'yontiv. Shlomim that is part of the chagiga, but Beis Shammai oimim soymech aleim erev yontiv, because he does not allow smicha on yontiv, v'shoik to be yontiv, but he allows shchita on yontiv. Beis Hillel oimim soymech aleim b'yontiv, v'shoik to be yontiv. So that's like our Mishnah, not a problem. Aval Nedorim and Nedovis Divra Kol ain't craving beyond it. So Ravada Barava has a Tana to rely on. You don't have to amend the Baraisa, because Ravada Barava can be going like these Tanoi. The Hani Tanoi, Kiani Tanoi. And those Tanoim are like the following Tanoim, the Tanya. Ein Mevi'in Toida, B'chaga Matzos, Meptei Chamit Shabbat. Now, what's a Korban Toda? Korban Toda is a person, if he was healed from a sickness, if he came from a boat travel, came out of prison, or came out of a caravan from the desert.
Why would we think that a person should bring those on Yontif in the first place? Why are they not like Nadavas and Nadarim that, push them off after Yontif? Guy gets out of jail. Doesn't have to be today. It could be next week.
No, but Kenny, people didn't come to Yerushalayim that often. So there were people that saved up their korbanos and brought them all to Yerushalayim. And the Gemara is going through a careful analysis. What korbanos are you allowed to bring on Yontif and what are you not?
But we just said Nadarim, even if you make a Neder, it doesn't matter that you're coming Aliyas Regel. You can't bring it on Yontif.
But they came 2-3 days earlier and they offered it probably.
So why don't we say the same thing with the Toda?
Okay, so hang on. A korban Toda is a korban shlomim.
Yeah.
A korban shlomim, we said if it's a neder or an adava, because you can donate a korban shlomim, you can't bring on yontif. But a korban toda is not donative. You have a chiyuv. For example, birchas hagomel, you're machayev to say birchas hagomel. It was the same thing regarding a korban toda. If you came out of prison, there's a bit of an obligation on you to bring a korban toda. So that's why the Gemara is going to show us that you could bring a korban toda on yontif. Except a korban toda could not brought ein mevi'in toda b'chaga matzois. Why? Korban toda was an animal that was a shlomim, was processed like a shlomim. Now, a normal shlomim, you had 2 days to eat it, 2 days and an intervening night. A korban toda can only be eaten in 1 day. You only have 24 hours. Number 2, it came along with 40 loaves of bread, 30 of which were matzah, 10 of which were chametz. So by definition, a korban toda could not be brought because it needs the full component of the 40 loaves. Obviously, you can't bring it all 8 days of Pesach or 7 days of Pesach because it has chametz in it. So then it says, the lo ba'atzeres mipnei shehu yontif. You couldn't bring it on Shavuos, l'chura, because you cannot bring l'chura any korban that's not a choivas hachag. That's the way we've been learning. And Rashi says, like Kenny, toida is nedarim and nedavosu. So it's a little strange right now because instead of just saying you can't bring a korban toda on Pesach because of the chametz shabo, well, you say you can't bring it because it's yontiv, so it's really got the same reason as atzeres. Okay, it's got another reason. Then comes the kicker. Maybe Adam toidosu b'chag sukkos. Chol Hamoed. Because remember, the problem is doing work on Yontif, shechting on Yontif, where if it's not a Choyvas HaChag, it's too much work. But Chol Hamoed, you could do it. The Chol Hamoed Pesach you can't because it's Chametz. Shavuos doesn't have Chol Hamoed. So now we understand what's going on. Shavuos is Yontif. You can't shecht for a neder and a dove on Yontif. That's what the Tanna Kama says. Reb Shimon Omer, Arehu Omer b'chag ha'matzos v'chag ha'shvuos v'chag ha'sukkos. Kol sheba b'chag ha'matzos, ba b'chag ha'shvuos v'chag ha'sukkos. V'chol shelo ba b'chag ha'matzos, ein ba b'chag ha'shvuos v'chag ha'sukkos. So Reb Shimon is all for none and none for all. That means whatever goes for one goes for all of them. And if you can't offer a korban on Pesach for whatever reason, you can't offer it on Sukkot either. That's what Reb Shimon says. Reb Eliezer, Reb Shimon, this is Reb Shimon ben Yochai, Reb Eliezer's his son Omer. Mevi Odom Toidosu b'chag HaSukkos. V'yotzu b'yidei chovosu mishum simcha. Not only can you bring it on Sukkot, but you can be Yotze your din simcha in it. And Lechura, Rabbi Elazar is arguing, and even be Yontif, not just Chol Hamoed, because normally we bring Korban Chagiga on Yontif. Even though, so because he says, "V'samachta b'chagecha Rashi l'rabbis kol minei smocha shel bosur l'simcha." Ein simchel b'bosur. Okay. So that's Reb Shimon's opinion, Reb Elazar Reb Shimon's opinion. So your Yotze, your din simcha, but ben Yotze b'mishum chagiga. You still have to bring a korban chagiga separately. That's a choiv. But the fact that you're mesameach with basar, the basar that you ate from the korban toda, is you satisfied simcha. But a davar shebachoiva, which is a chagiga, can only come from chulin. You can't sort of kill two birds with one stone. Toda is already declared it a toda. It's not been a chulin, so you can't pater your chagiga. So it's a complicated sugi here. So we analyze more. Amar Mar. So first, the Baraisa said you can't bring a korban toda because of the chametz. Pshita. I mean, I know the korban toda has chametz. Of course, you can't bring it on Pesach. Amar Avana B'Rei Rav Yitzchak. We're talking about the 14th day, Erev Pesach. Because you might think, bring it in the morning, because I can eat chametz in the morning. Yeah. But since I'm minimizing the time, because after chatzos I can't eat it, it's more likely that it could become noiser. And ein meviim kachim l'beis hapsul. You shouldn't bring a korban lechatchila that might end up l'beis hapsul. And this increases your chance of doing it. Then the price said, lo batzeres b'nusha yontiv. You could not offer it on Shavuos because you can't do shchita on something that's not a chiyuv of the yom. And a korban toida is a neder and a dova. Ksavar nedar is ain't krav yontiv. But then aval maybe adam toidos b'chag ha'sukkos amos. Well, when are we talking about ilim b'yontiv atzbo? Can't be on yontiv. Amr the lo batzeres b'nusha yontiv. Ela b'chol shalmoy. So we already worked that out. We're talking about chol hamoy. Reb Shimon Omer Arehu Omer b'chag ha'matzos v'chag ha'shuvos v'chag ha'sukkos. Kol sheba b'chag ha'matzos, ba b'chag ha'shuvos v'chag ha'sukkos. Kol shelo ba b'chag ha'matzos, ein ba b'chag ha'shuvos v'chag ha'sukkos. So he argues with the concept that you could bring this korban chol hamoed sukkos, because you can't bring it sukkos because you couldn't bring it Pesach, and they're all connected. Maski Reb Zeir hashta salti, hashta saloisi misaltinon nedar menedoris maboy. I mean, we chop wood when we need to on Chol Hamoed. It would be a dover pashut that you could be makriv a korban on Chol Hamoed. How could Reb Shimon say that a korban toda is forbidden on Chol Hamoed sukkos? Makes no sense. So Amar Abaye ba'akrava kulam lo pligi deshari. being mockery of the korban, everybody agrees is permitted. Ki pligi lemekem alei b'val ta'acher. If a person made a neder to bring a korban, now you have to bring the korban at a certain time frame, otherwise you're over bal ta'acher, you brought it too late. So what's the matana kamasover? Shalosh regolim amrachmona. Afilu shaloi kasidron. It means if you made your neder before Shavuos, you have 3 Yomim Tovim: Shavuos, Sukkos, Pesach. So it doesn't have to be in the order of Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkos. That's what it means. Afilu shaloi kasidron. Rav Shimon sover kasidron in shaloi kasidron lo. It's got to go in order. Meaning, you got to always do it Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkos. So if I made a neder before Shavuos, I get 5 Yomim Tovim, Shavuos, Sukkos, and then the following year, Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkos, in order to complete the Seder. Maybe Adam Todos b'Chag HaSukkos. But as Rav Shimon said, you bring your korban even Chag HaSukkos Amos. What's the same as the Tanakama? Ela b'Yontiv must be means not Cholamoid, even Yontiv. Ksover Nedarim does credit b'Yontiv. He disagrees with the opinion that you can't bring a neder Nedov. So why did he grab? He could have taken Shavuos and Pesach. Well, can't do Pesach, but he could have taken Shavuos. So Rabbi Yezer Rabbi Shimon Latame, the time Rabbi Shimon Noimer, Lo Yom Echag HaSukkos, Shabo HaKosuv Medaber, Lama Nemer Shezachron. It's always got to be the last of the Seder. Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkos for Bal Ta'acher. And Rabbi Yezer Rabbi Shimon Noimer Shezek Goyrim. It's not a matter, it's always got to end in Sukkos. Meaning, if you made a neder right before Sukkos, you'd be over Bal Ta'acher. You got to bring it that Sukkos. So it's always Sukkos, according to Rabbi Shimon, that triggers Bal Ta'acher. Then V'yotzu bo mishum simcha. So with the Korban Toda, according to Rabbi Yezer Rabbi Shimon, you're Yotzei Basar, right, Simcha, but you're not Yotzei Chagiga. Pshit, the davar shechoyva hi, v'chol davar shechoyva in ba'alam chulin. Korban Chagiga is an obligation. Has to come from chulin. Korban Toda is not chulin anymore. Lo tzrich davagav de porish. Maybe he made at the time of his neder, I want this to be a Korban Toda, as long as it's also going to be my Korban Chagiga. Maybe I would think that would work, which was asked. Or he says, what's the din? So we'll analyze this. So I would like to learn tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning. That way we do tomorrow's blot 7:30 morning.
I may be late, but yeah, go try 7:30 and maybe I'll get home earlier from shul. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Kenny's an early riser. He'll make it.
How do we pass it
guys.
regarding the job?
Trading hours. I
How
can't
do we
make it
pass
then.
it? Do we pass it that you have three Yom Tovim? Or
I'll give you
can
the
we say-
psak. I'll give you the psak right now.
Not like Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, because he says only one. If you're
Because you only need sukkos.
yeah, so you don't have the three.
Well, here's the psak in Rambam, Seder Avoida. Kol neder v'nedava, be'neder lemigdash be'neder macher mitzvah she'aviyah mitneim beregel rishon she'pogash potchila. V'im lo hevi, over mitzvah saseh.
Oh boy, I'll tell her.
Mitzvah saseh, you're not over the Bal Ta'acher. V'im over shloisha v'kolim v'lo hevi, over mitzvah saseh lo sa'acher k'detana kama. So three yomtivs and you're triggering. We don't have the kula. We don't have the kula of Reb Elazar Reb Shimon, or you have 3 yomtivs. You get 12 months.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you. Sure. Okay, yeah.
Okay, now, the Navi Shir is going to start at 8, but the Sukkos we're going to learn in shul, half hour, 40 minutes before Mincha.
40 minutes before minutes. Okay.
What time is Mincha?
I think 6:35.
I'll tell you right now. Hold on. You have it, Harold?
I don't have it. I'm just memorizing. I thought it was 6:35. Maybe, yeah, look it up just to
But
be
we
sure.
could learn,
Hold on,
we
here
could
it
learn
is.
about 6 o'clock.
Wait, here, Mincha is 6:35. That's correct.
Okay, so
Yeah,
6 o'clock?
Yeah, I think we could learn 6 o'clock.
Okay, all right.
6 o'clock would be fine.
6 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then there'll be Zoom as well Wednesday night for anyone.
Okay, very good. Thank you. See you
Good,
later. See you soon.
See you tomorrow morning.
Yontif.